Hey guys, you're welcome back again to the channel. So in today's tutorial we're going to be learning how to make an off-shoulder bustier. So let's get right into the video. Now on this point I'm going to be dropping this by 6. So this is actually an off-shoulder like I said earlier. So I want this to be off from around 6 inches. So you can go ahead and use 5, 6, 7, 8 depending on what you actually want. So this is actually going to depend on how much of your chest is going to show. So I'm gonna ahead to locate other parts. You can see my bust point, under bust, the waist, then the length of this top as you can see. Also my shoulder, which you can see there, or the back. Then I also went ahead to measure my bust span divided by 2. So that gave me 4 inches. So I connected that straight from the top to the bottom of this. Now we're going to be going up by 1 inch and down by 1 inch on our bust point. So take note of that again guys. On the upper part you go up by 1, then on the lower part you also go down by 1 inch. So this is for the cup not to be too bulky and then to eradicate any point edges. So that is why we're actually doing this. So on the under bust now, towards your bust band, go out by 1 inch, then go in by 1.5. So I'll take that again guys. On the under bust, go out by 1 inch, then go in by 1.5. So go ahead and do that on the length of your top as well. So you have something like this when you are done. So then you connect these together. So I hope you've done yours guys. Now that you're done connecting together, now the essence of the 1 inch here is the difference between the both of them is the ½ inch, and for this other part where we have 1.5 inches is where the curvy part of the cup is going to be. So we want it to be more curvy, so that's why we decided to use 1.5 inch there. Then this also depends on how busty the person you are working for is. Right, so now we're going to be making a curve from this point to where we have our 1 inch down there. So go ahead and curve it to this from where you have your 1 inch dropping down. So you have something like this when you are done with that. Now on the other side as well, use your curve to arrange a nice shape for this as well. So this is where you have your 1.5 inch. Now go ahead and connect this together. So you should have something like this when you are done with that. Now you can also go ahead and use your marker to blend this in, because we don't need any sharp edges in this. So go ahead and blend that out guys. Now we'll go ahead now and tighten the top of this bustier. So on the top of this we're going to be going out by 1 inch and in by 1 inch as well. I'll take that again guys. Go out by 1 inch and go in by 1 inch. Then connect this to the second dot you have right there. Remember you went up by 1 inch and down by 1 inch. So connect this to the other 1 inch you have right there. So you can also use the curvy part of your curve to do this, which will still get the same result guys. Right, so you should have something like this if you're done with that. Also go ahead and blend this in order for us not to have any sharp edge like I said earlier. Now it's time for us to take all our body measurements. So now I'm going to input in my measurement there, which will be my bust point measurement. So I'm going to be using that measurement here. Then I'm going to replace what I have for my dart, which is that 2 inch, which I went out by 1 inch on both sides. That is going to be 2 inch. So that's where I'm going to have my new armhole now. Now on the bust point, my bust point, I'm going to take my round bust measurement. Then I'm going to also add 2 inch sewing allowance to this. So I actually do not have any dart taken in that part. Then on the under bust, the circumference of the under bust again, Then you're going to be adding what you used for your dart. You're going to go ahead and replace it. So there I should have about 2.5 on that part, as you can see, one on one side and 1.5 on the other side. So I'll go ahead and replace it there, and then go ahead to add my 2-inch allowance again. Here on my waist, I'm going to take my waist measurement, then replace what I have for my dart as well, which is about 2.5 as well. Then I will place it, then I'll add my allowance to this. On this part, go ahead and take your measurement again, then add your allowance to it. So now you're going to go ahead and connect this together. But for the armhole, you're going to be slanting the armhole since it is an out shoulder. But this is me basically just connecting this together. So go ahead and connect yours, guys. So after you are done connecting, now you're going to extend the line you have from your bust point to your chest line straight, right? Then like I said, this armhole is going to be slanted, so from your new point you have there, just go ahead and give this a nice slant. So this is what the front piece looks like, guys. As you can see, the cup is really standing already. Then we have the other side, the center front, and then the side fronts. So now we're going to go ahead now to confirm all our measurements. So for that part, I want to confirm if what I actually have there is okay for what I'm working with. So after we are done confirming the measurements, you just go ahead and cut this out. So guys, you want to try and be careful while you're cutting this, in order for you not to ruin the pattern. Now we're going to be working on the back piece. So I've gone ahead to do my starting line. Also, I'm going to be drafting this starting from the 6 inches, just like I did for the top, for the front part of this. So I'll also go ahead now and mark my chest line, the bust point. Then I'm not going to be using the under bust for this. So that's my bust point. I'm going to go ahead to mark my waist also. So that's my waist right there. Then I'm going to mark the length of this top. Then I'm going to add hemming inches to this as well. So I'm actually working with a lace fabric, so I'll need to add enough allowance in order for me to top stitch this. So go ahead and connect this together, guys. So another thing we are going to take into consideration is, if you want this to have a zipper, you go ahead and add 1.5 inch zip allowance. But if you don't want this to have a zipper, then there is no need for that. So for mine, I'm going to be adding a zipper to this. So I'll just go ahead and mark my 1.5 inch on the top, then on the bottom, then I'll connect this together, as you can see, like this. So I'm going to be using the ruler now to connect this together. So guys, it is from this point you have drawn, or from the line you have drawn rather, you're going to take all other measurements you're going to be using for this. So from that point, I'm going to take my dart measurement now. So this is me just basically labeling these parts in order for us not to get it twisted. Now I'm going to be inputting my dart like I said. So this dart will not get to the top of this. I'm going to just stop this dart right there. So I'll just go ahead now to use my bust pan measurement again, which is 8 inches divided by 2, which will give me 4. So I'll go ahead and mark that. In order for me to drop my dart, I'm going to need this. So I'm just marking my bust pan measurement. Now after I'm done marking this, I'll connect this again with a ruler in order for me to draw out my dart. So also take note of your shoulder measurement. So I'm going to replace my shoulder measurement right back there. I really hope these points are visible. So that's right there is my bust pan measurement, so I'll just connect it straight down. Then the other point you have on the top of this pattern paper is my shoulder measurement, like I said earlier. So now I'm going to be going down from this point by 1 inch because I don't want my dart to get to the top of that. Now on the waistline, I'm going to go out by half an inch. Then on the other side also by half an inch. Then I will connect it to the dot I have right there in order for me to have my dart. So this will serve as my dart legs. Just go ahead and connect this together neatly. So you have something like this, guys. You want to go ahead and take your time. Now we are done with our dart. So after we are done with our dart, we're just going to go ahead and input in our basic bodice measurement. So here I'm going to put in my bust pan measurement. Then I'm going to also replace all allowances I've used in drafting this back to the front part of this. Then keep in mind that you are measuring from that zipper point, not from the top of this paper. So you can see that my measurement is right from that zipper part. So that is my first measurement right there. I did not measure from the end of the paper, but from the first line I had, which is my zipper line. So then I'm going ahead to add 2 inches to this as well. Then I'll also slant this in to that point where I have my measurement. So go ahead and connect this like this as well. Now after you're done with this, on this part you still have the same thing because we don't really have much dart taken there. Our allowance should cover for that, so go ahead and measure what you have there again, then add your allowance to it. Then on our round waist measurement, then take note of what you use for your dart as well, then add 2 inch allowance to this. So I really hope this is clear, guys. Now on this part as well, which is the top length part, go ahead and measure what you want, what your top length measurement is, round your top length measurement is, then add what you use as your allowance, which is about 1 inch on that part, add from both sides, then replace your allowance there as well. So after we are done with this, just basically use your ruler to connect this together. So guys, once you're done connecting, then the front is ready before. So this is the back, and the back is also ready. Now we're just going to go ahead and cut this out. So like I said, if you're not going to be making use of a zipper, go ahead and fold in that zipper part. But if you're going to be using a zipper like mine, then you can go ahead and just leave this. So this is me just basically showing you that you can curve that part if you want, but I'm going to just leave my hair straight like this. So if you're going to be using a highlight for this, you can go ahead and fold in your zipper, then also remove another two depending on how wide you want your back to show. So that's all for the front piece and the back piece. So if this video was helpful, kindly remember to like, comment and share. Then lastly, please subscribe to this channel because we'll be bringing you more videos, and then in order for you to learn how to sew this. I will see you in my next video, guys. Thank you and God bless you.